How to access the NDIS. To become an NDIS participant, you must have a permanent and significant disability or developmental delay, be of a certain age, live in Australia, be an Australian citizen or hold a permanent visa or a protected special category visa. To begin the application process to join the NDIS, you will need to complete an NDIS Access Request form, along with any relevant professional reports. These can be found on the NDIS website. Alternatively, you can call the NDIS on 1800 800 110 and request the forms to be sent out to you. If your application to receive funding from the NDIS is approved, you will have the choice to have your plan managed in 3 different ways: agency managed, self-managed, and plan managed. If your plan is agency managed, the NDIA will be responsible for paying your invoices and you will only be able to use NDIS registered supports. Self-managed means you will be responsible for claiming payment from the NDIS through your My Place portal for any services you receive. You will be able to receive support from providers who are not registered with the NDIS. If you choose to be self-managed, you can be audited by the NDIS. What is NDIS plan management and how is it funded? A plan manager will be responsible for paying any service providers you receive supports from, so you won't have to worry about paying them yourself. If you have plan management included in your plan, you will also be able to use service providers who are not registered with the NDIS, giving you greater choice and control. The plan management service fee is completely covered by your NDIS plan under the Improved Life Choices budget and is added on top of your already allocated funding. Improved Life Choices funding covers both the setup and monthly fees for plan management. This will allow the plan manager to be able to process invoices from your providers and answer any questions you may have regarding your plan managed budgets. If you wish to have a plan manager like NDSP plan managers work with you over the course of your plan, all you have to do is ask for plan management to be included in your plan. NDIS acronyms. During your NDIS journey, you will likely hear several acronyms or abbreviations. These can seem confusing and daunting at first, but don't worry, we're here to help. Here are 15 acronyms you are likely to encounter. AT, Assistive Technology. CB, Capacity Building. COS, Coordination of Supports. DSS, Department of Social Services. DSP, Disability Service Provider or Disability Support Pension. ELS, Everyday Life Skills. R&N, Reasonable and Necessary. SIL, Supported Independent Living. SLES, School Leaver Employment Supports. STA, Short-Term Accommodation. PWD, Person with a Disability. PM, Plan Manager. ECEI, Early Childhood Early Intervention. And finally, LAC, Local Area Coordinator. And SC, Support Coordinator. The difference between support coordinators and local area coordinators. The roles of local area coordinators and support coordinators can appear to be similar, but there are some key differences. The first is that a local area coordinator will be a part of your planning meeting and help with the creation and the implementation of your plan. They will also assist with the plan review process and be a part of the process of requesting a review. Both a local area coordinator and support coordinator can help you find local supports. However, a support coordinator will help you manage the service delivery from these supports. They will also help you negotiate with providers about what they will offer and, in some cases, will also ensure service agreements and bookings are completed. This is done with the aim to help you build your ability to exercise choice and control. A local area coordinator, in most situations, will not be able to assist with this side of finding and managing supports. There are also specialist support coordinators who are there to assist people who have more complex life situations and will help manage challenges in your support environment to ensure the delivery of service can continue. Both support coordination and specialist support coordination are covered by the capacity building budget. NDIS funding categories. Capacity building is one of the 3 budgets that can be added to your plan. Along with the core support and capital support, each of these budgets has support categories that fall under them. The capital supports budget has the fewest number of categories under it, with 2: assistive technology and home modifications. Assistive technology can be used for items that assist with mobility, personal care, communication, and recreational inclusion. This can include items such as wheelchairs or modifications to motor vehicles to make them more accessible to you. Home modification can be used for any modification to your home that makes it more accessible to you, such as a handrail in the bathroom or a specialist disability accommodation. The core supports budget has 4 support categories that fall under it: assistance with daily life, transport, consumables, and assistance with social and community participation. Funding can be moved from one category to another if you need more funds in one of the other core categories. Assistance with daily life is reasonably self-explanatory, covering the supports that assist you with day-to-day life. This can include activities such as household cleaning or garden maintenance. The transport budget is there to support you travel to work and other places that can help you achieve your goals. How you can use this budget and how it is paid to you will vary from person to person. Your LAC will be able to assist you with this when you get your plan. The consumables budget can be used to purchase low-cost assistive technology and other equipment that can be used to help improve your independence or mobility. Assistance with social and community participation is any activity that involves interacting in a social environment. This can include a support worker who helps you participate in community-based activities or an organised sports activity. The final budget is the Capacity Building Supports budget. This has 9 support categories under it, all with the goal of helping you build your independence and give you skills to reach your long-term goals. Unlike core, these budgets cannot be moved from one category to another. A support coordinator will help you find, manage, and coordinate supports to help build your capacity and independence. The Improved Living Arrangements budget will support you to find and maintain an appropriate place to live that is accessible to you. Increased social and community participation is slightly different to assistance with social and community participation, in that this focuses on increasing your skills to help you participate in community, social, and recreational activities. Finding and keeping a job will help you undertake training and assessments that can help you find and keep a job. This also includes school leaver employment supports. Improved relationships will support you to develop positive behaviours to help improve the relationships with others, including your supports. Improved health and well-being can be used for exercise, such as personal training sessions or diet advice. It can't, however, be used for gym memberships. Improved learning can be used for training or for advice on how to move from school to further education at university or TAFE. Improved life choices can be used to have a plan manager, such as NDSP plan managers, pay your provider invoices on your behalf, so you don't have to worry about the administrative burden. Improved daily living can be used for assessments, training or therapy that can help increase your skills, independence and community participation. What is reasonable and necessary? The NDIA will make decisions on what you can use your funding in each support category for, based on if the support is deemed reasonable and necessary. The NDIA defines a reasonable and necessary support as a support that will help you achieve your goals, help increase your independence, take part in social activities and work. These supports are related to your disability, represent value for money and cannot cover day-to-day living costs such as grocery shopping, utility bills and similar purchases. The NDIA will also take into account if the support is given to you by other government services, your family, carers, networks and the community. If you are ever unsure if something is reasonable and necessary, you can find the reasonable and necessary criteria on the NDIS website. If you are plan managed, you can also contact your plan manager, as many plan managers, like NDSP plan managers, will have reasonable and necessary checklists you can use, and NDIS experts you can talk to. NDIS Service Agreements Explained. When you contact a service provider, you or your plan nominee may be asked to sign what is known as a service agreement. Each provider's service agreement will be different, but will likely contain these 6 sections that outline the service. Fees and expenses. This section outlines the costs of the service and will generally be in line with what is written in the NDIS price guide. Nature and description of the services. This section of the agreement will outline the service being provided as well as how often it will occur. Terms and conditions of the agreement. This section of the agreement will contain the terms each party has agreed to. This may include communication timeframes or termination notice periods. Rights, responsibilities and obligations of both the provider and the participant. This section outlines the role of each party and the rights and responsibilities of the contracted parties. The provider's confidentiality and privacy obligations. A service provider will have access to a participant's personal information, such as their name and, in some cases, a participant's NDIS number and information about their remaining funds. In these cases, the provider will need to include how they are going to keep this information safe and used appropriately. Details around insurance, tax or super. In some cases, there may also be information relating to each party's responsibility around insurance, tax and super. NDIS invoices. After receiving supports from a provider, they will obviously need to be paid. How this is done can vary depending on how you chose to manage your plan. If you are agency managed, the provider will be able to directly claim through the service booking, and the agency will then pay the provider using your plan funding. The costs on the invoice must be in line with the NDIS price guide. If the price exceeds the price that is listed in the price guide, they will not be able to pay it. If you are self-managed, you will be responsible for lodging the claim through your MyPlace portal yourself. You will also be responsible for keeping receipts of purchases or uploading them to the MyPlace portal. Unlike agency managed, if the provider is not registered, they can charge above what is listed in the price guide. If you are plan managed, your plan manager will lodge your provider's invoices to the NDIS portal for payment. It can take up to 2 business days for the funds to be released, and once released, the plan manager will transfer them to the provider. Like agency management, the costs of the service must not be above what is written in the price guide. For your information, it can be lower. If the price listed is above the price guide limits, they will either not be able to pay it, or you can choose to pay the gap. If you have any questions about plan management, please call NDSP Plan Managers on 1800 636377 or head to ndsp.com.au.